My name is Vivian Myers, and I'm very happy that you're here today. Welcome to my mapping class. What you are going to learn today are the fundamentals of mapping. Mapping is the foundation for henna, lamination, and for all permanent makeup procedures, microblading, powder brows, fusion brows. When you perfect mapping, everything else becomes a little more easier. Today, I will go over the fundamental points of mapping, how to measure with a ruler, how to use the pencil, and how to map with the string. When you're mapping a client, we want to take in consideration their bone structure, facial features, hair patterns, and what we're looking to accomplish. Our main goal is to follow the natural pattern of the brows, making minor changes and improve their appearance. Let's start by prepping her skin for mapping. In this case, I'm going to use a cotton pad with micellar water, and I'm going to make sure there's no residue of makeup. Really clean her brows, beginning of the brows to the end of the brows, back and forth, make sure the eyebrows is nice and clean for the mapping. Because if your eyebrows are not nice and clean, they can become very oily, and little by little you're measuring with the tint and the thread will not stick. So by cleaning her brows very well, it will make sure that your mapping will be nice and defined instead of having residue of makeup left or very oily skin. So cleaning very well the eyebrows will help you to your mapping. Now her skin is nice and clean. Let's dry her skin and dry her brows now, because when we use the thread with the tint, the skin has to be nice and dry in order to the tint to stick to the eyebrows. At this point, you want to get a clean cotton pad to be able to dry and clean all the residue left on her skin. Now that her brows are nice and dry, let's analyze her eyebrows. Let's see where is she missing the most amount of hair. I like to see the pattern of the brows. I like to analyze where is the arch, how's her hair growth, up or down. In her case, her brows are beautiful, the tail is symmetrical with the end of her eyes, so all we have to now is start mapping her brows. Beginning is side of the nose, straight up, to see where is this eyebrow going to start. So if you look at the beginning of her eyes, that's not going to follow the eyes, it's going to follow the side of her nose, and that is where her eyebrows is going to start. I'm going to go ahead and define that line for you to see where is the beginning of her brows. Right here is where her brow is going to start. We're not following the eyes, we're following the side of her nose. Now we have to follow the end of the brows, where this eyebrow is going to end. I'm going to follow middle of the cupid, the corner of her nose, the end of her eyes, and that is where her eyebrows is going to stop. Now I need to see, brush down the hair to see where is the highest hair on her brows, and that is the indication where is her arch. If you see right here, that is the highest hair she has, and that's a good indication. We're gonna measure the arch right there. Let me measure the arch for you to see. So this is where her arch is going to be. So it's very important for you to understand that the beginning of the brows should be 60% or more longer, and this ruler is going to help you to see that. So her brows must be longer in the beginning and shorter in the tail. So let me measure to see if I have 60% or more of the body of the brows. 60% there, and here must be shorter. See how this side is shorter and the beginning of the brows is longer. Now that I have all the measurement in place, beginning, the arch, and the tail, I'm going to start to build this eyebrow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the other side, the beginning of the other brows, in order for me to be able to start building my eyebrows. Same exactly thing, side of the nose, I'm going to see where is the other eyebrow is going to start. I'm going to put her face a little bit up so I can be able to see her whole brows, and I'm going to build the bottom of the brows. I'm going to follow her own hair pattern in the upper part as well. And now it's time for us to start building that eyebrow. I'm going to make my lines a little darker just so it'll be more visible for you to see at home. The end of the brows, the arch, and then the beginning of the eyebrows. And make my arch a little darker. Now I'm going to connect this point all the way to the end of the brows. All you have to do, place the line, the beginning of the brows, and trace following beginning to the arch, and then you're going to trace arch to the end of the tail, and you're going to do the same exact thing for the bottom. Follow the line to the arch and the arch to the tail. Now it's time for you to get the pencil to make the brow a little bit more defined. I'm going to stretch the skin very well. And if you look at the lines that I've done before with the thread, it looks very boxy, right? Look at how the peak of the brows, the arch of the brows looks very like an X. But I'm going to use my pencil to make more rounded, to look more like an eyebrow. So I'm going to little by little build the eyebrow with the pencil. I can make the lines a little more defined, because when you use the thread you don't want to make too dark just in case you make mistakes. But now with the pencil you can go ahead and define the eyebrow very well. If you have a little bit outside the lines, you can always use a Q-tip or a specific brush for the brows like what I have with micellar water to make your lines more clean. This pencil is a specific pencil, specific for microblading. The reason why I love this pencil is because when you do microblading, it won't be washed off with the anesthetic. I'm making my lines nice and clean and precise. And now it's time for us to start removing the hair. So when you're plucking hair, stretch the skin and always pluck not against, but pluck following the hair, because otherwise you can actually break the hair and create problems to your client. So let's pluck the hair on the brows, nice and gentle. Let me brush it off to see what else I have to do. And always remember, stretch the skin. It's very important for you to be able to see what you're doing and for your client not experience pain. If you look now, the brows look nice and defined. It is ready for henna, it is ready for lamination, microblading, powder brows. I'm gonna do a little bit of the trim on her hair because her hair is a little long. Never brush it down, always brush the hair up before trim any hair on her brows. If you brush it down and cut the hair, it could create bald spots. Few hair left, I'm gonna pluck them off, but I think this eyebrow is pretty much done. Looks nice and clean. I'm going to now take a final look, but I think we're ready to go to the other eyebrow. The lines are nice and defined. There's no more harsh corners anymore. The brows are nice and defined. I pluck all the hair that was outside the lines. And my final cleanup in the arch for you to see how this eyebrow look. It is literally a work of art. Little by little you see that eyebrow transforming right in front of your eyes. Make sure when you work with the pencil, your pencil have to be nice and sharp so you can create fine lines. I'm using my pencil to leave the pencil mark on my ruler, so it'll be easier for me to transfer the measurement to the other side. And all you have to do is rub in the pencil against the ruler and that will leave the mark. Now I'm measuring, I'm going to measure the beginning of the eyebrow to the end and then transfer the measurement to the other side. All you have to do is with the ruler right over the first mark and the last mark, the end of the brow, and now you come here over the first mark to the end of the brows. Now I'm going to measure beginning of the brow to the arch and transfer to the other side, creating where my arch is going to be. Now I'm going to measure where the eyebrow is going to end. It's going to be the end of her eyes with the end of the eyebrows. And now we go to the other side and measure and leave the trace there. I'm going to make a little darker with my pencil so I know where that is. And now with the thread, they're already tinted with the pencil, we're gonna mark the beginning, the end of the brows, the end of the brow, and we start to build the brow just like the other side, creating the arch to the tail, the bottom part, again the other half to the end. I'm gonna use my pencil to do the same exactly design that I did before and then create more like curve and more detail oriented an eyebrow. And here it is the final results for the brows. I'm gonna double check myself now to see if they are symmetrical one to another. I'm gonna double check the eyes to see if the tail is in the same exactly spot as the other one. And this is the final results of my mapping. This was so much fun. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope this workshop can take you to the next level. And I'm looking forward to see you soon.